Thank you. I'm Mike McCormick. I'm with the American Coalition for Fathers and Children, and I just couldn't help. I feel like I'm in competition with that little red light here, but we'll get quickly through this. I couldn't help wondering, as we were listening to the folks here who were developmentally challenged, if we were actually looking at what could be the next Stephen Hawkins, and I appreciate your willingness to fund services for these folks. We've heard a lot about the human misery that's passed through in front of you today. And one of the things that we've heard quite a bit about is how the courts are operating and how child protective services are operating and how the child support enforcement services are operating across the state and the misery that's derived as a result of the operations of some of those institutions. I'm not going to revisit that. What I would say is if we actually take steps to maximize both parents' involvement in children's lives, even when those parents are not remaining in the same household, we will stop a lot of the human misery and tragedy that we've heard about today. There is no reason not to maximize both parents' involvement in kids' lives, even if those parents are not residing under the same roof. 5 states across the country right now are considering shared parenting legislation, which would result in both parents staying actively engaged in their children's lives in the event of divorce or unmarried parentage. Unfortunately, Virginia is not one of those states. We understand the money flows with respect to the federal and state interaction and the federal mandates that drive a lot of the state activity in these particular areas. What I'd like to do is offer assistance to you to understand how we can maximize both parents' involvement and still maintain the money that comes out of the federal government that subsidizes these systems. We'll be talking and meeting with you later on throughout the course of the year to discuss that further, and we'd ask that you listen to what we have to say and cooperate with us. 175,000 people incarcerated in the state for non-payment of support over the last several years represents a tremendous outlay of taxpayer funds, in many instances unnecessarily. Children do best with both parents actively engaged in their life. Thanks for your time.